What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Christian Kuntz Podcast, brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. There's never a fee unless we get money for you. We got the boys in the house. We got a full crew. We got Jesse and Trey. We got Swing behind the boards, and we are joined by a very special guest, straight out of Minnesota, Minnesota legend from the most prestigious Harvard on the Hill, Mankato State, Adam Thielen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Adam Thielen, how we feeling today?
Feel good, man. I just can't believe I'm on your podcast. I mean, I've heard so much about it since the day I got here, and I finally made it.
Listen, he did. He came, he signed. I feel like I've known you for like my whole life. He came, we were instantly boys. I don't know, probably, he's a white receiver. We probably...
white guys in the locker room. White guys. I get it.
Good to see you. No, but he came in and then he instantly followed the pod and he said, man, I've been listening. He didn't listen. He was listening to the clips. Just the clips, but I appreciate the engagement. Next time, leave a comment, like it, maybe subscribe, hit the subscribe button.
I have ADHD, so the fact that I was able to, see the clips was perfect.
Good.
Just little clips here and there. Seeing the boys, see the teammates, kind of get to know the teammates a little bit.
Hey, that's what we're here to do. Let these people know, guys, from our perspective. Yep. Just getting to talk to teammates and getting their story as opposed to like media portraying a story. Or, this is a form of media, but other people forming opinions of players could go sideways. So this is a platform for people to get to know you, get to know me. If they, they listen, they probably know me pretty well at this point. But it's a good platform. It's been fun. This is episode 80 something, 70 something.
We don't know. We lose somewhere around there.
We lose count every time. But I want to get into your story because it reminds me a little bit of my story. Hometown kid, Minnesota, minus the $100 million. But we won't talk about that. We'll talk about the hometown kid a little bit. Going to Mankato State, Harvard on the Hill. I got to give a shout out to my agents that from Minnesota. What was that always a dream of yours to play for the Vikings? And your combine story, like invite. It's just wild how you 13-year vet now. Like, what led you to get here? When did you start believing in yourself that you could do this? Like, you obviously dominated at Mankato, so run me through like the whole process of growing up in Minnesota and what that was like.
Yeah, how far back do you want me to go?
Go back to like high school.
So I played 4 sports all the way through high school. And when I was in high school, I literally, whatever season it was, I thought that was my sport. It was basketball season, I thought I was going to the NBA. It was football season, I thought I was going to play in the NFL. I mean, taking it back further, I grew up a huge Vikings fan. Pro sports, really. Minnesota's got all the pro sports. So you kind of grow up in Minnesota. You watch the college. You got the Gophers, obviously. And you watch it, but it's really all about the NFL team or the pro sports teams, right? Mm-hmm. And the Skull Chan, all that. But I grew up watching Randy Moss, Chris Carter. They made me fall in love with football, and then not only that, wanted to be a receiver. Since I was little, like I knew I wanted to play receiver. I remember 7th grade, coach came up to me and was like, "Hey, usually our best athlete plays quarterback," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm a receiver." And so, and in a running offense, it was really stupid of me, but
not the smartest move.
No, maybe 1 target every 2 games. So that was good. But anyways, so high school, I was like, whatever I get the best offer in, that's the sport I'm going to play. Football, basketball, baseball, and golf. And football, basically 2 weeks before training camp started, Mankato saw me at the Minnesota All-Star game, and they were like, "Hey, we got $500. Come to Mankato." And I said, "All right, sign me up." So showed up 2 weeks later at Mankato, and you played 5 years there, redshirted my freshman year, and then played well. And back then you weren't transferring. And so there wasn't the transfer portal, which would have been cool. But played 5 years there, which was an awesome experience. Loved Mankato.
They're a D2 powerhouse. They're one of the better D2 programs, correct? Were they D3 before?
No, they've been D2 for forever. Yeah.
Okay, so they were D2. They've always been D2, powerhouse D2 school. But it just goes to our point because Trey does a lot of coaching of local high school kids are very good athletes in this area, and we kind of preach to them, if you're good enough, they're going to find you. Mm-hmm. So like another walking testament, like if you're good, they're going to find you.
Facts.
And you're going to play. So that's pretty cool. I know it was brief, but a cool story. I know you broke some records at Mankato. Couple receptions, touchdowns, different stuff. Walk me through when you were leaving Mankato and you had to pay your way to a combine or a local day in Minnesota, the Vikings saw you?
Yeah, so I'll take it back. So I finished my college career, and right after the game, I'm like, okay, what's my next step? Because I've always been the type of person, I just kind of take it one day at a time. Like, just, I was in the moment, trying to give my best. Obviously we had a really good football team my senior year, went to the semifinals, lost to Valdosta State, who ended up crushing the national championship game in the semifinals. We lost to them. So I come back, my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to try to play in the NFL. And she looked at me and was like, are you sure? Like, you don't want to just get a real job? Like, at the time, like, she's only seen me play, that year. We just started dating that year, and that was the first time she's seen me play. And coming from a D2 school, she's probably like, what the heck? This guy's crazy.
This guy's no chance.
So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, like, I'll go do job interviews, do all that, have something set up if it doesn't work out. So did both of those things, had a couple jobs lined up. And then I paid my way to go to this regional combine and showed up to Chicago, Illinois at the Bears facility. And I'll never forget, I show up, fill out all the paperwork, whatever, go to start warming up. And I see the quarterbacks warming up. And I'm like, oh, boy. Like, did I make a mistake? Because, like, the quarterbacks, like, couldn't throw it 20 yards. Oh, wow. And they're like, there was, like, a 30-some-year-old dude there that maybe played college football, like, 10, 15 years ago. Like, and I'm like, oh, boy, this is good. They had kicked one guy out. Like, he started throwing. They're like, all right, like, you might as well just go home. Like, it's pointless. Wow. But anyways, that gave me an opportunity because you run the 40, you do all the drills, whatever. And then based off that, they picked so many guys to go to the super regional combine. And that was in Dallas, and that was a bigger deal. That was where all the scouts were. I think every team was represented. So that was a big deal. So I ran a good 40.
What'd you run?
I ran a 4.45, and then I went to that super regional, and some scouts had me like 4.42, whatever, 4.47, somewhere in between there. So, and then that was when people started talking to me. But even then, so people started talking to me, generating interest. I'm sending tape out. But like if you watch D2 football tape, like essentially back then, like it was bad. Like there was a lot of my like best catches, like you didn't even see my catch because like they were like on the quarterback, and then like they were like laid to me, and I had like a one-hander, like it was my best catch in college, and like you didn't see my catch. And so anyways, I go through the draft. Obviously, didn't get drafted, and then I'm thinking, someone's gonna call me and like sign me after the draft. No one calls, and like through the draft, like a couple of teams were calling. Like, hey, like, you hearing anything? Anyone going to draft you, whatever? And I was kind of like, yeah, a couple teams are calling. How you might get drafted in the 7th, but obviously no one was calling. And then Minnesota, which this was wild. Minnesota and Carolina were the two teams that offered me rookie camp.
Wow.
And so Minnesota was the first weekend, Carolina was the second weekend. Went to Minnesota and then was there for 10 years.
Man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That is crazy.
So you signed up, you were a rookie minicamp invite.
Rookie minicamp invite, went there unsigned. And then after the 3 days, coach pulled me in his office, like, hey, we're going to sign you. You got to give us some time because they had to cut someone that they just had signed.
Yeah.
So they cut a guy that they just paid $10,000 to, whatever, and then signed me.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. And people don't understand, like Trey, obviously, Trey was in Steelers rookie minicamp. If you're a rookie minicamp invite, you're not signed. Exactly. So you're not guaranteed. And even when you are signed, you're still not guaranteed because obviously they could cut a guy if another guy shows out, whatever. So to make it as a rookie minicamp invite is even harder when you're it's even harder. Yeah, your odds are stacked against you even more. So kudos to you. That's fucking incredible. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is there other guys that you know across the league that had to pay for their invite as well too? Because I feel like that makes your story a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of got rid of that whole process.
Too many like random Joes, like pros versus Joes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Just I think it was just kind of bad. There wasn't a whole lot of guys coming out of there, and so I think teams started to like not send scouts, maybe things like that. I don't really know the whole process of it, but they stopped doing that, so guys weren't doing that anymore. But yeah, there's definitely a few stories that I've heard, rookie camp invites that have made it. CJ Ham, who just is about to retire in Minnesota, fullback, he was the same story, and from the same. We actually played against each other in high school, same conference, conference in
He's
college.
from Minnesota too.
Yeah, from Minnesota, from Duluth. And then he was a rookie minicamp invite, made the team, and played there for 10 years.
Wow.
He's had a hell of a career. I
Yeah.
saw they got him in the end zone too last weekend. That was sweet.
Yeah,
it
cool.
was
Cool.
going nuts. I always said that playing in Minnesota is one of the best atmospheres. When they do that, let's go, and when they score. I remember we played there. What year was that? 2021, 2022.
Yeah, Thursday night football, right? Or
I think it was. We were down like 28-0, and we came back.
yeah,
And it was rocking. And the school chants, like I was like, yeah. I was trying to chime in a little bit, but when we scored, everyone was like, oh, taunting them a little bit. Yeah,
that happens quite a bit.
but it's a good atmosphere, and that stadium's incredible. And I'm glad that it's a dome because the weather up there
It's crazy.
not great. Even though everyone brags about Minnesota summers, I keep hearing Minnesota summers are the best summers. The lakes, blue skies.
The best.
I'm gonna come.
You're coming up this summer.
I'm gonna come up.
Good golf, great lakes.
Now
you
you're
know.
talking.
Listen, the golf here is a little bit different with the hills. You got to come
That's
back.
true.
Springtime, OTAs roll around. The golf here with the hills makes it a little tricky. Maybe Oakmont. We'll get out of Oakmont if we got a little
Hey.
pool. We get a little pool at Oakmont.
You got all the plugs, so
Well, you're the scratch golfer, so we need you got to put that. we got to see. We got to see if that's true because everyone lies about their handicap.
And what's the handicap?
that's true. I'm like probably like a 0.8 right now, but
Yeah.
I haven't touched the club since what is it? Probably August.
Wow.
So
It's been a minute, huh?
yeah, so I'm probably pretty rough right now, but that's okay. I'm about I'm almost toward the end of my career, so I'll have lots of golf ahead of me.
Yeah, you do. What's it been like for your family that playing for the Vikings for 10 years, playing at home? Like I kind of have a similar situation and kind of know what that's like. But what's it been like for your family? You have any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I got two older sisters.
Two older sisters, they're friends, like everybody. Like what's that experience been like?
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, obviously playing there my first 10 years in the league, and everyone comes out of the woodworks for tickets and the connections and but it was really special. I mean, we lived 5 minutes from where my wife grew up. Her parents are right down the road from us. With our kids having that help and stability there was, I mean, such a blessing. And as you guys know in this league, like stability is very rare. So to be in one place for one time anywhere is really cool. But to be in like my home city and the team I grew up watching and loving and doing interviews with Randy Moss for Monday Night Football and Chris Carter coming around the facility, like guys that I literally like, that's why I played football. Was so cool. And then like obviously when you're playing for any team, like, and this, like you obviously are all in and want to win. But when it's like your hometown team that you cheered for since you were 4 years old, like there's something special about that. And like, I remember one year Coach Zimmer let me talk to the team just about the rivalry of the Packers Vikings, like what that means to people. Like obviously like players that come in, they're from Florida, like they don't really understand like what that means to the fans. So to be able to have that and be able to talk to the guys about that rivalry and what that means to when the kids go to school on Monday and they can rock their Vikings jersey because the Vikings won, and all the Packer fans, the kids that are Packer fans, they're not wearing their jerseys, but then they win, and same thing, vice versa. Like there's green and yellow everywhere in the schools in Minnesota because they're bordering states, so there's a lot of fans in Minnesota that are Packer fans, a lot of fans on the border of Wisconsin that are Vikings fans. So it's pretty cool, little rivalry, and to be a part of that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm interested in your journey, like when you get actually signed to the Vikings, because now you get to this mountain top that's like almost feels unobtainable. Now you have a whole other set of obstacles because if I'm correct, you're joining Stephon Diggs. You had to go through the special teams, and I was curious if you remembered your first touchdown and how you did that in the league.
Oh yeah,
wasn't receiving.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, very very clear. I have a weird memory because I usually don't remember things very well, but when it comes to football, I can remember like every little detail of like pretty much my whole career, good or bad, which is crazy. But yeah, so I first year was on practice squad, and then my second year made some plays on special teams and training camp and in the preseason games that really gave me an opportunity to make the team. And I knew that, obviously I wanted to play receiver.
Right.
But I knew, like, really my only chance at that point, being undrafted, was to make plays on special teams and show that I can provide value there, which was crazy because I never played a down of special teams in my entire life. Like, not in high school, not one time in college. Like, I was a punt returner, but, like, that was my extent of playing special
It's still not the same. Like, even if you played teams in college, it's nowhere. It doesn't even correlate to the NFL. Like, I'm a firm believer that these guys coming in, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but these guys coming in from college are at such a disadvantage because of the special teams in college, like, versus the pros. Like, they don't even know how to kick step.
Yeah.
They come in, they don't even know how to kick step to protect on punt. But so the fact that you had to, build your way up in teams and with never playing teams is another fuck. That's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard to do.
but I loved it. Like, it was like such a cool challenge. Like, it was almost like I was playing a whole different sport.
It is.
Like, and you're just like, it was like such a cool thing to, like. I remember sitting in, Coach Prefer's office, the special teams coordinator at the time, and I would just sit in there every day, just trying to, like, figure out like what is this? Like, how do I do this at a high level, and how can I make an impact? And so, anyways, I started making plays. And then really just took on that role. Like, obviously wanted to build into a receiver. Like, that's what I love to do and I've always been good at. And but just kind of took on that role, knew that was my opportunity. And fast forward to playing the Panthers at the you're talking about playing outside in the cold. We had to play 2 years at TCF Stadium, the University of Minnesota Stadium, when they were building our stadium. So we played 2 years outside. And this game was against the Panthers. And it was like 8 degrees outside. It was like one of the coldest games we played in. And I blocked a punt, picked it up, scored a touchdown in front of the hometown crowd. And there's a pretty cool little clip of the radio guy, saying Detroit Lakes go crazy. And that was like been played out like my whole career as a Viking, because that's where I went to high school, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and it was pretty special.
So how'd you block the punt? Were you off the edge?
No, I was up the middle. We did like a twist.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
in the A gap.
In the A gap.
Not on Andrew DePaula.
And it's good because I played with Jansen with the Panthers, and it was against him.
Wow!
And so I always give him a hard time because he just we knew that he liked to set vertically, and then so we could kind of attack the A gaps, and so I just kind of knocked his hands down in the guard, his hands down, and got skinny through there and blocked the punt.
I know JJ probably remembers that because you let that happen to you as a snapper, you never forget that.
Hell yeah!
You say, you remember the good plays, and unfortunately you remember the shitty ones too, especially with what we do.
Yeah.
What you got, Trey?
I got one question because I'm a receiver, man. You used to actually be one of the people that I actually mimicked my game after, just because you always play with leverage. So I had a lot of injuries and lost a lot of my speed. But I watched how you always play with leverage. Like, you're never out of position. Mm-hmm. Even when the ball's in the air, you're never out of position. So does that come from your basketball background, or does that come from you just always wanting to be a receiver, knowing how to do that? Because that's very hard, bro. Like, even me as a receiver, knowing, like, how do you stay leveraged? Like, you stay there, you get where you need to be. That's hard, bro. Like, what was the indicator that leads you to that?
Yeah, well, that brings me into something I love talking about. It's like why you have to play multiple sports as a kid, because I feel like playing 4 sports all the way through high school really helped me get to where I am.
Right.
There's so many things that I take, and I say that to say that basketball helped me so much, like understanding body control. And I loved basketball. Like, basketball is my favorite sport. And again, like, that's where I've learned a lot about what I do in this game is just body control and leverage, and even just like, so much of basketball is kind of understanding like the bounces and the angles and being in position to get rebounds and assists and things like that. And that's kind of releases as receivers a lot of the dribbling and as a point guard and kind of using a lot of those. I mean, you watch like Devontae Adams, like he's just playing basketball at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And definitely use a lot of that to help me.
I can see you rebounding for sure, just boxing out everybody. Like,
I look back at my high school days and I thought I was so cool. And so
we all did.
And so I was horrible. My coach probably hated me because I just wanted to score points. Mm-hmm. And I played defense because I wanted to get steals.
Right.
But I was horrible rebounder and I never boxed out. And
that's crazy.
Which I look back at it and I'm like, man, that was so ridiculous.
Now you got 2 sons and a daughter. his two sons came. I forget what game that was. It was a Detroit game, Chicago, maybe one of the games. First few times I met him, then his sons are there, whatever, and they're in the hallway, and they got a football. And I'm like, come on, throw me the ball. They throw me the ball, and they're both instantly they start pushing each other in the middle of the hallway. The one hit his head off the side of the wall. They're fighting for the ball. Like it was absolutely hilarious. So what? Yeah, Uncle Christian. My uncles used to pay. I was the youngest brother, and they put $5. Well, they put $1 on the ground, which is crazy. $1, and they'd be like, you fight for the dollar, and my brother would whoop my ass for the $1. I'd be fighting for the dollar, but I'd be getting my ass kicked, but I had no money on me. I was going to put a 20 on the ground and be like, all right, whoever gets this ball, they were ready to go. Those boys were ready to go. They were ready to kill each other. Yeah.
I mean, so they're both so different. So Asher's my oldest, who is like, he is like all in on sports, and has been all in since he was like a year and a half old. Like, I remember, like, 2 years old, Asher's, like, begging me to throw him, like, over-shoulder balls in the basement. Like, every night I get home, like, over-the-shoulder balls, 2 years old. Like, just learned how to walk, and, like, he's already, like, trying to, like, run routes.
He's got a whole route.
And he's, like, more like type A. And then, like, my second's, like, dog. Like,
yeah,
he's attack. Like, he's a killer. Not as, like, he's supernatural. Everything just comes easy to him, but not as hard of a worker. My firstborn is, like, he will outwork anyone, and he will go until he figures out how to master something. So it's pretty cool to see the differences in the two, and it's fun for them to, like you said, like now they're like battling each other, and like they're constantly like, all right, like, Dad, you're all-time quarterback, you know, I'm on offense, he's on defense, let's go. And so it's been fun to see them just grow, and now my oldest has always been into the games and, like, watching the games and understanding them. And now my middle, Hudson, is, like, all into the games and, like, knows what's going on, and loves being at the games and telling my family, like, what's going on and what play they're going to run. And so it's pretty cool.
He's predicting the games. What how cool has it been for them to see you play? Because I've been saying, you know, I want to play long enough for my son to see me play. So, like, now that they're old enough to, like, go to the games and understand, and they're probably playing football themselves, like, what's it been like for them? Like, they got to be beside themselves that you came back to Minnesota for a little bit. I don't know if they remember your time first with Minnesota, but what's it been like for them to watch you play for your hometown team and a team that they root for? I know Justin Jefferson's their favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Got to be.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's been really special for me because I didn't, you know this league is not for long, right? NFL.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if I'd ever play long enough for them to really remember what's going on. But yeah, at this point now, like, my oldest two for sure will have a lot of great memories of going to games. I don't think they're going to know what's going to hit them when I retire, because they're not going to be going to football, NFL game every week. And I mean, when we were in Minnesota and Carolina, like, they were on the sidelines every game. Like, I'm able to play catch with them before the game. And so, like, I don't think they really understand, like, how cool that is.
Right.
Most kids don't get those opportunities, especially every week. But yeah, they love it. I mean, they're all in. I mean, my middle literally sleeps with the football every night because he can't get enough.
That's crazy.
And so, yeah, I mean, what a special thing, and I can't wait, you know, to look back on it someday and just to share those memories together.
Yeah, so I'm curious. You might be the first guy that we've had on the podcast that's been traded or signed, you know, in a mid-season, like how you were. So I'm just curious, like, what that process looks like. I think it would be good perspective for the fans to understand what that looks like. You know, you leaving a team, joining another one. Now you have to join, you know, Rodgers with this whole new playbook. Like, when you show up, are they like, we know these are the routes you like to run, or Rodgers implement? Like, there's so many variabilities. Can you break any of those down?
Yeah, it's been a wild year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, wild year. So I go through training camp in Carolina thinking, yeah, I'm going to be in Carolina.
Right.
Probably my last season, retire after the year, go back to Minnesota, sign a one-day contract, and retire. And felt really good. And the reason why I came back to play one more year was because I felt so good about that organization, where they were going. Built a really good connection and relationship with Bryce, and was really, like, excited about the direction of where they were going. So I didn't really think about anything other than that. And then everything kind of happened with Minnesota, and, you know, they had some injuries, and then, you know, it started blowing up in the media like, hey, like, you know, Minnesota and Thielen and you know, what's going to happen, and they're going to go for him. And so then at that point I'm like, oh shoot, like that's crazy, because I never thought I'd have a chance to go back there and play and run out of the tunnel. Like all these emotions started building up. And so kind of like, you know, really asked Carolina like, hey, like this would mean a lot to my family. You know, this would mean a lot to me if we could even just see what that looks like, and not saying that it have to happen, because I'm really happy there. I mean, we had a house there. Kids were in school. They were in sports. Like everything was awesome there. So there was no like bad blood or anything to like try to get out of there, right? It was just more of this emotional thing. So then anyways, I go to Minnesota, get traded. Literally, kids have been in school for 2 weeks already. Like everything was set up. Sports were set up for all the kids. And then boom. Get traded. Kids are pumped because they're going back home. Like we'd go to Minnesota in the summers, like that was our home.
Right.
And so like they're pumped to go back to Minnesota, all their friends and family and cousins and all that. And then we get there, like transition them to new sports and back into a different school. And then, you know, obviously things didn't go how I thought they would in Minnesota, as far as, you know, not really playing much.
Right.
Yeah. And not really what I thought I'd, you know, and again, like you never can like perfectly write how things are going to go for yourself, right? They're not always going to go perfectly your way, but, you know, I wanted to make sure that I was ending my career playing the game I love. Like I wouldn't have played another year if I thought I was going to be, you know, a backup and be in that position, which I took on that role, and I felt like I gave everything I had in that role. A lot of great teammates and a lot of friendships and people in that organization that I just went all in for. And then, yeah, just kind of this opportunity came, and I was like, hey, kind of just asked the team, like, hey, would it even be a possibility? Like, you're not using me, not really playing. Season's, you know, winding down. I know I'm 99% going to retire after the season. Yeah. And it's like, would you guys be willing to just release me so I can go play somewhere and just end my career just giving everything I got and just playing the game I love? And when they kind of were like, yeah, we would do that for you, then it became real.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shoot, I don't know, this is crazy. And then it all went down, and then it's like you show up to a place, you know, that guys have been in the building, know each other, season's pretty far down the road, you know, and completely new offense that I've never really been in this offensive system before. And then you add on top of that, like you said, Rodgers and his kind of offense outside of the offense with signals and things that he likes. That first week here was like insane. And I mean, I've never studied so much in my entire life, going back to college, school, whatever. Like it was crazy. And then, you know, now being here for a while, it's been awesome. To just kind of get more comfortable, and kind of now I kind of know what Aaron likes, kind of know the offense better, to where I kind of can just relax and just go play football, which is fun.
Did you know that Pittsburgh was a possibility, or was it kind of more like, let me see what teams are in need for a receiver, and we'll take our chance if I get released? Or was it like, I know Pittsburgh's hurting our receiver at that time, injuries, whatever it may be, it's going to be Pittsburgh? Or did you have no idea?
Yeah, from afar, it felt like this would have been, you know, where I would end up. Again, like when you're a veteran and you get released after the trade deadline, you have to clear waivers. So there is a lot out of your control. So I was a little nervous, right? Like you never know. You know that the teams that are out of the playoffs probably aren't going to claim a 35-year-old receiver that's going to retire in 5-6 weeks after the season. So you knew that there probably wasn't going to be a team that was completely out of the playoffs. But you didn't really know for sure where you're going to end up. And that was a little uneasy. But at the end of the day, again, I felt like the risk was worth it to say, hey, whoever claims me is probably going to have a role for me and give me an opportunity to play. Otherwise, they're not going to claim me. So yeah, it was definitely a risk, but you know, excited to be here.
What did Rodgers, like playing now with Rodgers, you played against him obviously 10 years in a huge rivalry with Green Bay and Minnesota. how was it like coming here with knowing, Mike T and how historic he's been in this city and for this team and this franchise, and then obviously adding Rodgers? Like, how pumped were you when you were like, you got the call from Pittsburgh and you're like, oh shit, like Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers, this whole defense, like everything that goes into that? What was that feeling like?
Yeah, again, I was hoping that's how it would play out. I felt like it was a really good fit for both sides. But yeah, and then, you think about Mike T and his history, 19 seasons without a losing season. That's crazy.
It's insane.
That's crazy. And so really respect him from afar from a long time. Only got to play against him a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so much respect there. And then obviously the respect I have for Aaron. We actually were able to, build a friendship outside of football through playing golf together a lot in Tahoe and some other events that we've been around. So you already knew him a little bit outside of football, not really, on the field, obviously. So there was a lot of learning there, which there always is with quarterbacks. But, yeah, and what a special opportunity to play with the guy. Won a Super Bowl, been the MVP a few times, and obviously played against him for a long time. And watching him play the game of football from the other sideline is not a fun feeling. So it's been nice to be on this side of things.
100%. Like, I was thinking how – Baltimore was feeling. Well, obviously, we didn't even talk about our game. We're coming off AFC North championship. But, like, how was Baltimore feeling knowing that they were giving the ball back with 2 minutes left? No timeouts, 2 minutes. It's like this. Everyone on the sidelines looking like this is why he's here.
He's here.
Like, he's here for this. This is what Aaron Rodgers does. So,
how much confidence do y'all have in the locker room knowing, like, that last 2 minutes? Because I've been in that position where if you have a quarterback who's so-so in that 2 minutes, you're like, damn, this can go either way. But when you have a quarterback that can move this ball and probably score in 2 minutes, like, what's that feeling like? Like, what's that experience like?
Yeah. For me, it's incredible. Like, just to know that we have Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Right.
Like, he's Perk Rodgers. Like,
Perk Rodgers.
he's the man. Like, dude, like, anytime the ball's in his hands, like, I don't care what happens. Like, I want the ball in his hands 50 times a game. Like, I want him to throw it 50 times a game. I know we got to establish the run game, this, that, but I want Rodgers to throw it 50 times a game.
Yeah.
I think what's cool is what people don't see is he doesn't just show up on Sundays and do that.
Yeah.
And play high level. Like, that's what's cool to me is, like, he loves 2-minute drills and practice.
Wow.
Like, he begs Coach T.
Yeah.
And I've only been here for a few weeks, but he begs Coach T to have those situations in practice. And so I say that to say is people, all they see is Sundays.
Right.
But there's so much that goes into that of high-level elite football players that is not just showing up and using their athleticism or God-given talent. Like, that's hard work and dedication and even the best of the best. Like, I remember going to my first Pro Bowl and, like, sitting there with Antonio Brown, and he's like, hey, I remember that route you ran for so-and-so. Like, that was awesome. Like, what you did, boom, boom, at the top.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why these guys are Pro Bowlers.
Right.
Yeah.
Because not only are they God-given abilities, talented, but they also love the game of football.
Right.
They love the game of football. Like, you're at the Pro Bowl, you could just be chilling. You could be doing your own thing, but, like, you're talking ball. Like, that's why you're a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And I say that, again, like, that's why Rodgers is good at the 2 minute because he loves it. He practices it. He practices how he plays.
Yeah.
And going into that, like, we were just talking about rivalries, right? And you're coming into a rivalry that, like, but it's like it's hard to understand something that you're not from, right? So I'm curious for you, like, understanding what Baltimore and the Steelers rivalry really means. Like, what was it like for you to be in that game? Because me and Jesse were just talking about it with you guys. It's like people were outside the stadium brawling, right? And it's expected after every single Ravens and Steelers game. So for you, man, coming into a rivalry like that, what was it like for you in that experience?
Well, the crazy thing is my first game as a Steeler was like 4 days after I showed up in Pittsburgh and was in Baltimore. And so, like, I remember, like, we kind of knew that the Vikings would probably release me on that Monday. And so we're kind of just, like, going through the teams that could possibly happen that maybe would claim me. And, you're thinking possibly here. And so I remember, like, looking at the schedule then and being like, hey, who do we have? And seeing, like, all right, Baltimore would be my first game as a Steeler. And I didn't know how it would all work out because only being here for a short time, I didn't know if I'd play or if I would dress, things like that. But thankfully, they had enough trust in me to play me right away, which was so cool to be a part of that rivalry game to start my Steeler journey. and to be a part of this organization, and really gave me a glimpse of what that looks like, being in the opponent's stadium with a rivalry game, and being in the locker room after you win that game, and just the emotions, and you could tell it meant a little more than just a normal win. And obviously it was a big part of the season, getting that win against the opponent that's probably going to be fighting for the division, and kind of setting us up for last week to be able to, win in our own terms, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had a catch a little flat route, 6 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, he got a touch. He got a touch his first game before. He's been here for 3 days. He got a touch.
Yeah, would you say that's a testament to Rodgers too? Because if you have like a bit of an inexperienced or maybe not as prestigious of a quarterback as Aaron Rodgers, like he's able to, I feel like, plug and play. Like he understands you. He's probably been watching and studying your film, kind of understands the gist of like who you are as a receiver. I would imagine the fact that it's Aaron Rodgers and not, a backup or maybe somebody that's not at that level, it helps, I would imagine, and you can give me insight on that.
I think you could look at it that way, but you could also look at it the other way. It might be harder because, and I say that to say that because when you have a veteran quarterback, there's certain things that they like a certain way, and they need to see it first.
Gotcha.
So with not a lot of time, no practice reps, very little practice reps, very little time together in the meeting room, and him probably being like, he probably doesn't know any of my signals or anything.
Right.
So I think sometimes it can be harder with a veteran guy just to kind of get on the same page, just because they like things a certain way and they've done it for so long that they need to see that first.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. The longer I've been here, I feel like, I've been able to, prove that he can trust me and that we can be on the same page. And I know the signals and when he's trying to get to certain things. And he's the first guy I've been around that will like really test guys through the week of practice and try to make it tough on guys, last second signals or maybe some signals that maybe he wouldn't normally use in a game, but just wants to know how much you know. And if he can trust you on game day.
I want to talk about those signals because, someone, I think Troy Aikman was calling our game, and it popped up on my Twitter that Aaron Rodgers spends 4 nights a week with the receivers and the offense, or 3 nights a week, whatever, over the house or wherever you guys meet. And those signals, like I see all this, like whatever the hell we're doing, like whatever's going on, like those are signals that the players are putting in, and those are hot routes, or like what are those just like, hey, he's lined up here, I'm going to give you either this signal or this signal based on his alignment, or like how does that go down?
Yeah, so I don't want to give away too much detail, but no, I'll give you a big picture of it. But yeah, I think what's cool about how Aaron's done things for a long time is every team has signals and they have checks and cans and alerts. And so you have that in this offense. You already have like a play within a play, right? This play, check to this play. Or you might have a route that checks to another route. And then you also have, run game alerts, right? Like if it's a run play and maybe you want something on the backside of the run. So if they overload or blitz or have, a bad look in the run game, he can just spit out RPO. So you kind of have some of those, the run game checks and alerts or signals. And then, maybe it's a cover zero, or he sees something, he wants to get the ball out quick or attack a certain coverage that he can see coming with our cadence and things like that he can kind of check and signal to the receivers or tight end. Maybe it's an individual route, maybe it's a full concept. So there's a lot going on. And, that again, it's, at first, I was very overwhelmed because there was so much. But now that I've been around it long enough, I kind of know when those certain things, those signals will come up, kind of the situations that's going to happen. I think he does a phenomenal job in games of just being over, communicative. He's gonna communicate over the top than he needs to make sure everyone's on the same page. And he's not going to try to trick you on game day. He's going to try to trick you in practice to make sure that you're really dialed in and focused and studying your stuff. But on game day, he's going to make sure you're on the same page so you guys can connect. And a lot of times it comes on those weighty downs. Mike T always talks about weighty downs, 3rd down, red zone, 2 minute, right? And a lot of times those come up in those weighty downs. So you got to be ready, and that's when you can make the big plays.
That's crazy.
Big play. Talk about a big play. You had a big play for this last game up the seam. I don't know how the hell you caught that. Did you even see that? Yeah. Like how that was a seed, first of all.
That was a dot.
Oh my god,
That was a dot.
like over Marlon's head. Like, I mean, that's one of the best corners in the game.
Best passer of all time.
Yeah, and he just seeded. Like, what did you see on that play? How did that all go down? Like, was that your original route? And got to give much away, but was that just like drawn up in the sand?
No, that was it's cool because, again, when you start to understand a quarterback and even an offense coordinator, you kind of start to feel how the offense coordinator is going to call a game in certain situations. And then same thing with the quarterback. You kind of start to feel like, okay, he's calling this to probably throw this. And for some reason, when I line up and got the press coverage, single high, I was like, yeah, he's going to throw me. I got to get open. And all game, I mean, they were all over us. Like, I mean, they were holding, grabbing, doing whatever, taking, and they were making the calls. So, like, credit to them. Like, if you're not making the call, if you're not getting called for holding or pass interference, like, keep going, keep doing it.
100%.
And so I knew it was going to be a physical play. I knew there wasn't going to be a whole lot of separation. But I was trying to just give Aaron an indicator, kind of with a little stutter, to say, okay, I'm ready for it. And he kind of read my body language, and again, like, I came up to Maverick, I go, hey, after watching that play back, like, that was a dot. Like, when you're in the game, you just don't really, you just like, ball's in the air, boom, you like, try to catch it, right? But that was an insane throw. And I did not see that ball because of the trajectory. It was so low, and Marlon was, like, right in my vision. And so I did not see that ball until basically 3 to 5 feet until it got to my hands. So just reacted, which sometimes is the best, right? You just react, like, boom, ball, catch it. And obviously was pretty fired up to just make that play and gave me a little bit of adrenaline. And there's nothing better as a receiver to get a little bit of adrenaline and kind of get that feel in the game.
Now, I've played receiver. Is that one of those catches where, like, you ain't even expect the ball to hit your hands? It just hit your hands. You're like, oh, shit, it's in my hands.
Honestly, those are the over shoulder, over your head are some of the hardest catches.
Can't see it.
And so literally since I remember this is probably too much information, but I go back to, like, my second year in the league. We're in preseason, and I'm having a great game. And, like, this point, I'm, like, fighting to make the active roster. Like, I was on the practice squad the year before, all that. Playing Tampa Bay, and I had a couple nice catches before we get to the red zone. And I killed the guy in the release, throw a fade ball, and it's like back corner, great, perfectly thrown ball, and boom, off my hands, drop the ball, and I'm like sick. Like, at that point in your career, like, you're thinking like every play is like life or death. Like, you're gonna get cut. Like, so I'm like hurting. So ever since that day, I've caught after practice over shoulder balls to, like, because it's a hard catch.
It is.
And I always tell guys, like, practice the things that make you uncomfortable. So on game day, like, you don't. It's just like natural. Like, you're kind of blacked out in that moment, anyways. Like, you're just in a whole different zone, and so you have to just rely on all that practice and preparation, and your body just kind of naturally does it, right? So in that moment, like, it's not like I'm thinking like, oh, it's a tough catch. Like, you just react, and, like, your body just naturally goes to what you've worked on, and those are something that I've worked on a long time because they make me uncomfortable.
Can you speak to that a little bit? Because there's a blind spot in the air on those over the shoulders. Like, when your helmet just doesn't get to it, like, the ball gets right in here, you're just like, fuck, it's somewhere over here, right? Like, that's a tough-ass catch, man, and I just want to give you kudos, but also I hope whoever's watching this gives you guys grace because, like, to have to pick up a whole playbook, signals, checks, and everything, I guarantee majority of the people in the world could not go and do their job without mandatory training to get that done, right? Like, you're expected to do it at a high level within a couple of days. Right. I mean, come on, bro.
Dude,
That's what I'm saying.
Saturday night, where you brought your playbook. We're sitting down having dinner or whatever. His playbook's it's this fucking big. Yes. It's this big with like 100-some pages of notes and highlighted shit. And the font's like this big. Like, I mean, I don't have a playbook. It's just either snap the ball and block left or right. Like, just do your damn job. But it is like the offense. Like, people don't understand how much knowledge it takes to play the game. Let alone, like, yes, they're top tier athletes. And they're the best at the world at what they do, but the intellectual part of the game is mind-boggling. Like, people don't understand how much.
I just came from a football camp in Cali, and I told Trey on the phone, I said, these kids, they understand winning sprints, but they don't understand you got to win the whiteboard too. Like, the best on the planet will destroy you on the whiteboard too, and then they're the best athletes on the planet.
It just comes down to the knowledge, bro. Like, if you have knowledge, you ain't listening to you talk. You know if it's one high, you know what you got, you know what you're doing. most kids don't even know to think like that, right? Because we don't have coaches that are coaching at that level. But to hear stuff like that, especially being somebody to watch this episode, I guarantee now a kid's going to be interested and more invested now to want to know how,
100%.
right? Like, how am I running this slant versus cover 2 versus cover 1 or 2 high versus a 1 high show? I know now because I want to know. You know what I mean? The only thing that's different, I believe, with guys playing in the NFL and you playing football your whole life, like, bro, you've been playing this game your whole entire life. You know how to play football. It's how much do you know of the game, right? And how smart are you? So hearing stuff like that, just being a junkie, bro, like, that's cool. Like, oh, shit, so it was 1 high. That's like, okay, I get it now. Like, that's cool.
Bro, and the discipline that goes with it.
Oh, man.
You caught fade balls after every practice. You got a 2-year-old at your crib asking you to do what? Come on, man. He's watching.
He's
watching.
man.
That's
You
crazy.
gotta teach him nothing. He caught it all.
So cool.
And trust me, I'm making those catches hard on him. So
Yeah, that's so cool.
work on his hand-eye a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to kind of tie all that together. How much, especially with you being like an experienced vet, you know, having the crazy experience that you have, being also new to a team, how much like on in-game coaching is happening? Are you pulling Rodgers aside and being like, hey, I'm noticing this? You pulling Calvin aside, the younger guys aside? Is your opinion valid as you being a newer guy? Obviously, you have the career path to be valid, but
That's a good question.
you now have to come into a team where they kind of have their stuff. So are you speaking on the sidelines? How much of that is happening? Like, I think that's something that gets missed out. There are player coaches, and I see them to be more valuable most times over
100%.
coaches.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I felt like when I first got here, I didn't know, you know, I didn't want to overstep too much.
Right.
I didn't want to say too much, but I also wanted to be there as a resource and to help guys. You know, I feel like from 13 years of experience, like there's a lot that I've seen and done and experienced that I can provide some information. And so my first, I think it was my first week here. You know, we were in the receiver room and I talk too much already, but when I'm a big talker, you know, and so, you know, I can't help myself, especially when I like something, you know, I really enjoy, I love that part of this game, like the little details and the little things.
You're going to be a coach.
And again, like the experiences, like I see something like, oh, I remember I had that same situation. And this is, you know, how you can win in that look, or hey, think about it this way. So I remember the first week I was here, I was, you know, we were watching film, and I was like, hey, think of it this way, like, you know, you run a lot of shallows, like sell it like a shallow and whatever. And after the meeting, I was like, oh shoot, like, am I talking too much? So I texted DK, and I was like, hey man, like if I'm talking too much, like if I'm overstepping my bounds, like please tell me, like I really don't want to be like that guy. And you know, he's been awesome, and the whole group has been awesome, just welcoming me in, which that's a tough deal, right? Like guy gets signed, comes in, playing right away, like that's not easy.
You're
like
taking somebody else's job, like you're taking somebody else's reps.
But like guys have been like amazing, like been awesome, and I've really enjoyed being in that room. But anyways, DK texted me, I was like, no, dude, we love it, like. We appreciate it.
He told us that after the show. I remember him talking about it because we just finished a podcast when we saw that you got signed. A couple weeks later, DK's on talking about how you just got implemented and said that exact thing. So that's all true. And he said like, nah, we love like having a Thielen in the building. So even guys like that, like it's across the board. So I think that's mad respect.
Yeah.
And, you know, walking into a situation and being able to do your thing, and people are listening because you know you earn that shit. So
For sure.
It's crazy too. Like you know, when you're not. You know, especially like AFC, NFC, right? Like I've been in the NFC my whole career. And so like you see games like, you know, if Steelers played on primetime or something like that, like you'd see some stuff, you hear some stuff around the league, but like I didn't realize like there's some really good players in that receiver room. Kelvin, I mean, like what a baller, like such a great dude. Like it's just been fun to like be in that room. You know, Roman even like he's great, like works his butt off, like wants to be great, asks questions. Obviously DK since I got here is just balled out, right? Like every week he's just making big plays and taking the top off the defense and catching the ball, catch and run, like that play that he stiff armed the dude to the ground. And like I was like, holy crap, like that's crazy. Like and you know, so there's just like and Scotty, right? Like I remember playing against Scotty when he was in Tampa, and I knew a little bit about him, but just being around those guys and like seeing the way they practice, and they're really good football players. So it's been really cool just to be, you know, in that group and how they welcome me, and and thankful for all of them.
Yeah.
What's the difference in play right now between the AFC and the NFC? I'm curious because I know the AFC, in my opinion, we got some real killer defenses over here. And I'm not saying the NFC doesn't. I know Minnesota has a really good defense with Flores and whatnot. But I know for a fact the AFC, specifically your conference, right, like
North
comes with a lot of defense. So,
Yeah,
like,
no doubt.
talk about it.
It's like the teams are built to beat each other.
Well,
Like, that's it.
I was telling my wife actually after this game, I was like, yeah, like the NFC North, like obviously I spent so long in the NFC North, and it's like, yeah, you think about like, I mean, that's a really good division right now. Like, I mean, look at the records of all the teams in that division. It's crazy this year, right? Like, was the worst team was Detroit, like
which is
crazy because that's like physical, like really good football team, but like the physicality in the AFC North is like different. Like I am sore today. Like that was crazy. And like I'm used to like Detroit, like they're a physical group. Like that's what they pride themselves in, you know. But like that AFC North, especially that rivalry game, like that's different. Like that's physical. And like I feel like I think someone said this to me, but I feel like there's like this like unwritten agreement that like we're just gonna both pound the rock.
Yeah.
And like I think both teams know that they could throw the ball more, but like there's like this unwritten rule, like no, this is an AFC North battle. Like we're just gonna run it till someone gives up, and so that's been cool to see.
It's the truth. Like you hit it right on the head. Like I feel like we could throw the ball more, but we're like no. Like it's Baltimore or it's Cleveland, it's Cincy. Like we're running the ball. We're running the ball. We want to impose our will on them.
Touchdowns don't count unless you run through somebody's chest. Like
seriously, like that's what it feels like. You get on the goal line, it's like, well, you know, you're gonna run it 4 times in a row. Like, I mean, shit. We had a goal line. They had a goal line stand before half. You know, that was a big sequence there. But man, we didn't even really get to talking about this game. That was the loudest that I've heard. Heinz Field.
Yeah.
Acrisure. Sure.
No, you said it right. You said it right. You said it right. Don't ever say that shit again.
That was the loudest I've heard Heinz Field since I've been to the game where we lost to New England 2000. Was that 18-19? Yeah. 18-19 we lost to New England. The place was rocking. Mm-hmm. The place was rocking, and then the fourth quarter was
Renegade, baby.
The fourth quarter was crazy. That was the craziest game. Obviously, you know, Luke missed a kick, and I've had people ask me, is that going to cost him his job? Like, the kid's he's a great kicker. Yeah. One kick's not going to define his career. It sucks. It's unfortunate, you know, for him and them that happened the way it did, and it's fortunate for us, but that's football. Yeah. Like, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. So, happy it went our way. AFC North champs. I haven't taken his hat off since Sunday night or Monday morning. Yeah, I
got a certain FaceTime call from someone after the game. I'm driving home. We're like stuck in traffic. Got all the boys in the back. My wife.
Tell me what you got.
I get a certain FaceTime call from somebody, and he's got the hat on in a loud bar, and he was cussing me out. Like, I think there was less. I think there was more swear words than words. So
yeah, I FaceTimed him. It was me. It was me. I FaceTimed him, and I was fired up. I might have had a couple beers after. You know, I'm of age. I'm allowed. I went to my old stomping grounds, Tequila Cowboy. You know,
oh my goodness!
You know, I tried. Yeah, what the hell? I wasn't. We just won. We just won. I was fired up.
You're right. Yeah.
And like, dude, not many people. Like, you know, I had a couple people come up to me that recognize whatever, but like, not many people know who I am. So I just slid right into the bar, went right up to the drink. Hey, I'll take 5 icy lights. 5 icy lights.
Sunday night at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, but no, it was a good time. It's always good, like, going into the bar after you win, and like the people are like loaded, hammered, partying, like excited about what we did on the field. Like they had nothing to do with it. Like, obviously they were loud and cheering, but like they're partying like they
won the game.
Yes, like they did that. Like snaps. They did. Like they just played 40 snaps in the trenches and they won the game.
Christian, seriously, I got to ask you this question: how cold was that ball? Because I know when you play football in the cold, the ball becomes a rock.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's why I don't really blame Buzz for real. Like you're kicking literally a brick. through the uprights, and there's wind. And we all know that Heinz Field, again, not Acrisure, fuck all that bullshit. Heinz Field, when it's really cold and that wind is moving, bro, that wind circles that little area, bro. Like, it goes crazy. Yeah, it goes crazy.
Yeah, the ball's like a brick, like you said. I mean, it makes it hard on specialists and anybody really, pass catchers too. Like that ball's cold. Like that shit probably hurts your hands catching, especially when A-Rod's throwing those fucking those seeds. But no, it makes it harder, especially like the fact that Corliss too. Like shout out Corliss. Like we had to punt twice. We had a illegal formation. We went on the ball, a little motion on our punt, little wrinkle, and Corliss had to punt the ball twice. And nothing good happens when you have to punt twice. Like when they make you re-kick, bro, it's like you're either getting a full-blown rush or they know that you're punting this ball for sure because they just backed you up on the chains. They're going to double gunners and get a return. Yeah, that man punted 2 55-yard bombs on the sideline. Mm-hmm. Like that dude, and people want to say whatever. He left the ball short on a pooch, like it was still inside the 20. Like people don't understand. Like it just kind of pisses me off. But shout out to Corliss, man. Those punts, like that shit means something. Those field positions, especially in games like that in the AFC North, like it's going to be low scoring. Obviously that wasn't, but like it's going to be a field position battle, and you're literally like you kind of play the game to win the field position battle. Like because if you win the field position battle, it's going to come down to a last minute kick. Obviously Tucker, Boz, and in previous years, like how many game winners have each of those had against each other? Right. Yep. Right. Dozens. So. Shout out to Corliss and all the specialists. They got a stud punter too, Jordan Stout. Like he Pro Bowler. Yeah, their three specialists are good. And again, like I feel for that kid Luke, man. He's a good kid. It sucks, but
the threats are crazy too. Like his wife are just crushed.
Yeah, he just got engaged or some shit.
Yeah, it's tough to see, because he's like, guys, like, please, you know what I mean? It's bad enough, and now his wife or his fiance is getting it. Like, it's just like,
it's crazy.
Honestly, that's sorry to cut you off, but like, honestly, that's the part where I
hate it.
Like, pushing me into retirement. It's like, it's just crazy. Like,
we were talking last
week. I love football and I love being part of the team, but the stuff man, like, if you don't have a good game, like, you're getting killed. Murdered, like, and it's that part stinks, but such a great game. And the NFL is so good, like just so good. Every week is so important. Just having, 17 weeks. And I mean, look, it comes down to week 18, like last game of the season, 2 seconds left, like missed field goal. Like, and that's the difference between going to the playoffs and not going to the playoffs.
That was game adventures.
Crazy. And that's why it's such a great game. Like, there's no other game like it that means so much every week, week in and week out. Like, every team can look back to, man, in week 4, if we went to blown that win, we would have been in the playoffs. Like, every team is doing that. So it's it's cool. It's cool to be part of.
It is. It's the fans are great when they're great. When they're bad, like, and you get the fans that are, they hide behind their keyboard and they got no Twitter picture or no, what are we doing? Like, why are you messaging another grown ass man? You don't think he feels bad enough? Right. Like, Tyler Luke probably feels the worst out of anybody.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see someone like game on the line. I'd like to see anybody who's talking smack about him, like, go do it.
Kick the football 25 yards.
Even something you're good at. Like, you add pressure to it. Like, I was talking to my dad about this. Like, he's retired now, and he's really gotten into golf. Never played, like, his whole life, and then, like, he's retired now. He plays every day. And I was like, it's easy to go hit a golf ball when it doesn't matter. Like, I could pick up, and, like, no one's checking my score. But, like, when that shot matters, and, like, hey, like, you're playing for money or you're playing in a tournament and, like, you got to make the cut or something, like, and you got to hit it in the fairway, like, or you hit it out of bounds and, like, it could ruin your whole round. Like, that's different. Like, that's just a different type of pressure. And, like, obviously, game's on the line. He knows that he misses this kick,
it's over with.
It's over with. Like, they lose. If he makes it, they win. That's awesome. But, like, that pressure changes everything.
And then on top of that, people have a tough time doing public speaking in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
That's right. Into consideration. There's 60,000 fans there, right? Screaming, because Steeler fans are not easy. I don't care what you say. Steeler fans are going nuts. Yeah. Right? So you add in on top of that, and now you're also having people watch you on TV. Yeah. Which we don't know how many people are watching you on TV. Like,
millions.
And every kicker goes through a streak. Like, every kicker goes to a streak, and then they become a serial killer, and that's just what they're titled as.
Yeah.
And then it's over, and everybody's praising them. But like 3 weeks ago, everybody wanted his head.
Exactly,
Watch that kid in
bro.
3 years knocking down game winners for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Seen Buzz talk about it. Buzz said he went
Ball
through
he
his.
stays away.
You know what I mean?
They all, everyone's gonna have ups and downs in your career. Like it ain't gonna be perfect. Like we're going out there, risking our lives, risking our fucking careers.
Right.
It ain't gonna be perfect. To think that a guy's not giving effort is
Crazy.
or like he missed the kick. Like, just give it a rest. Like I mean, I get it. It
rigged.
ruined their season, but again, like it ain't the end of the world. That kid's gonna be fine. He's a hell of a kicker. Like he'll be around
He's
for a
gonna be
long
a stud.
time. Yeah,
He's a drafted kicker. How many
Yeah.
kickers get drafted?
exactly.
That's
exactly.
man.
I got to take a break in the action. We'll wrap this up. We'll get you out of here. I know you got your stuff going on. You're a busy guy. I got to give a shout out to Edgar Snyder and Associates again. There's never a fee unless we get money for you. Give me a little point to the camera. That's a good one. Edgar Snyder been around 40 plus years in the city. If you or anyone you know has been hurt or injured in an accident, call Edgar Snyder and Associates. Family-owned business. Edgar's the man. Also, Olverio Auto, our guy Sal, Grand Slam. Use the promo. Sal's running all kinds of promos. You go in there, oil changes, they're honest. They ain't going to screw you over. So shout out to those guys at Olverio Auto. Both family-owned businesses, both Pittsburgh people, proud. Just Yinzers.
Bunch of Yinzers.
What are your thoughts on the Yinzers, and have you been across like a true Yinzer besides myself? Because I don't really have that strong of a Yinzer accent. I know I got some stuff I say this and that, and like Rudolph gets on me, whatever here and there, because I say some stuff that might come off Yinzerish. But what has been you're living in Lawrenceville, so you're coming across some Yinzers down there.
Well, when I was getting the FaceTime call and we're all my buddies are in the back, my wife, I'm like, all right, like I prefaced.
Your wife was in the car.
Yeah, my wife was in the car. She's laughing. She was laughing. She was like, "Who is this guy?"
He could never hang out with Christian.
But I prefaced it like, "Hey, you guys want to hear a true Yinzer? Like, here we go." So I open it up, and he like played it perfectly. Like, could not have been more Pittsburgh. Like, the Pittsburgh came out full fledged that night.
Well, I was 5 beers deep already, so yeah,
which was amazing.
It really comes out when you're about.
I love it. I love it.
Man, now I'm really embarrassed. Your wife was in the car. She's like, "That guy's a piece of shit." He's probably like,
Is that where the podcast got confirmed? Because I think you were telling us like, Thielen will be on. Did you get to like, hey, we'll be on that?
Yeah.
Was in that
Well, it's funny when I first got here. Literally, like, one of the first things I learned was like about his podcast, and everyone's like, his podcast sucks. Like they were trying to get me to like
yeah.
give him a hard time. It's like, hey, make sure you tell him make sure you tell him this podcast sucks. Like, it's not that good.
That's what it is. It's scronic, and then it's like
It was like everybody.
everyone, even Mike T, like will chime in and be like, "Hey, don't go up to Christian. He's gonna ask you to come on. He's gonna be real friendly and then ask you to come on his podcast."
Oh yeah.
You got that tag now, bro? That's terrible.
Yeah, but like I don't bug him. Like I don't bug the guys. Like I'll ask a guy once, and if he wants to come on, he wants to come on. If not, like James Pierre, I want to get James Pierre on so bad. Big Woe, I want to get Woe on, and Woe's just like, nah. I'm like, no,
Not doing it.
I ain't doing that. I don't do that, Woe. I'm like, all right, no problem. Won't ask him again. And then, ironically, he comes up to me. He goes, "I want to do the pod." I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna ask you then again, and I asked him again. No, Woe. It ain't time, Woe. So.
Well, he's kind of lying because he asked me about 15 times, and I said absolutely not. I heard your podcast sucks. I'm not getting on.
I asked you 3 times. Because you came in and you followed. I saw you followed the account, gave me a like. I said he likes the clips. So shout out to Tanner for the clips. But no, he liked the clips. I asked you 3 times, not 15. Don't be throwing me on the
But that's
bus.
the reason why I came on, because I saw the clips of the boys on there. Like, if it was just you, probably not coming on.
Yeah, well, the show wouldn't go on without the boys here.
That's right, the
show
boys.
would go on.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, before we wrap things up, let's talk about a little playoff scenario. We got Houston coming to town. People talk about a dome team coming to play in Pittsburgh or going to play in Buffalo, and like that means nothing. I'm sick of hearing that shit because it means nothing. Like, you think that every guy that plays for Houston played in a dome in college or played for a dome before their previous NFL teams? No. You don't think these dudes played in cold games before? They don't give a shit. they'll probably come out wearing no shirts and warm-ups like they, like Shazier used to do, run around no shirt. Like, it doesn't matter. So I need to shut that narrative down because, yeah, you hear about Miami stats playing in the cold. Yeah, that might be a thing, but but it doesn't matter. It's playoff football. We're fired up. We've been in the playoffs, so we said it for the last 5 weeks, but now we're really in it. So how we feeling? I mean, do anything, any means necessary to get a win.
I would say, I mean, everyone says it.
How many times have you been in the playoffs too?
That's a great question. I believe this is my 6th time.
6. See, like, it's crazy. You've been in the league for 13 years, and like 6 times, it's less than half your career. Half your career. But it's tough to make the playoffs, and it's special. And like I told this story, like Brandon Eccles, he's been in the league 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, and never made the playoffs. And I know Danny Smith is like real big on, I want to get guys that never been to the dance in the dance because it's different. The games are different. The energy's different. Like, the fucking sidelines are packed with people. Like, it's just a different feeling, and it's special. Oh, sorry, I cut you off, but I just had to. That's
I love that.
Special.
I love that. No, I mean, shoot, the whole thing is get in. Give yourself an opportunity, and every week you never know what could happen. And again, I think that goes back to like the attention to detail. Like Mike T talks about a lot, like what if you made a mistake or you dropped a ball or dropped a pick, like what are you doing to make sure you make that play the next time?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think of that with a playoff game. Like, what are you doing this week to make sure that you're at your best?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, whether that be film study, getting together with the guys and talking about, getting on the same page with the quarterback, like in practice, like are you getting those extra catches in? Like, what are you doing to be able to set yourself up to make those plays on game day? Because it doesn't just happen.
Facts.
As much as we all think, like, show up, I've been doing this a long time, like, just going to make it happen. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Which, and those guys on our side are getting paid a lot of money, too, to try to stop you. So whether they're a coach or a player. So it's always a battle, and very similar to playing the Baltimore Ravens. Like, when you're in the playoffs, it's always a rivalry game. Like, both teams know that it's win or go home. Like, there ain't no giving up. Sometimes you play teams, and, when we played Miami in the cold, and you kind of start getting some momentum, like, you can feel they're wearing them down, and they kind of give up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
In the playoffs, that ain't happening.
No.
So, like, you better be ready for 60 minutes plus to, like, go to war. Which is exciting.
100%. It's going to be rocking at Heinz. I'm fired up. Yeah, we'll be ready. I mean, we're going to have a great week of practice. Nice that we getting 2 days off. Yes. That's love. Like, I don't know if many teams do that. I've only been, one place in my career, been lucky enough, but I don't know if that's normal to, kind of get 2 days off and get this rest for the body. And I know that's important for guys like Cam Heyward, who I can't even talk about that dude. It's crazy what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He leads interior defensive linemen in snaps this year. He's 35, 36, 37, and he's playing unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's playing unbelievable.
Cool.
I've never seen a D lineman dominate a game like that, dude. I'm not an interior D lineman the way he played. I've never seen it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's wild. So, all the shit people were giving him for wanting more money
on offense too.
What's that?
And then was blocking on offense too.
Yeah, he hit a tackle. Yeah,
and tackle.
We were laughing about that, dude. He fucking buried Connor into the ground.
That was crazy.
I'm like, the push, not tackle. But man, I would not want to be Connor in that situation. You're getting tackled from behind by Cam, and then you're
up front,
and then like Roquan Smith's across from you, and
that's a concussion.
All those other guys are trying to kill you.
That's a car crash.
Yeah. All right, one more thing. College football playoff.
Come on.
Who do we got? I got Miami winning.
I was going to say, I like Malachi Tony. I'm going Miami.
I'm going Indiana.
Oh, yeah. Say, come on. That is hard. That is.
I mean, especially, like, they've been bad and, like, kind of come out of nowhere. Yeah. It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah,
it is a cool story. I like Indiana, but I got Miami. I got Miami. I just think I think the roster, and someone said it, one of the broadcasters said it, like, if this were one of the experts, if this roster puts it together, they have the best roster in college football, like talent-wise.
I think the quarterback will screw it up. Just a prediction.
Just a prediction. Yeah. There's nothing.
I like him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do like Mendoza, the quarterback for Indiana. It's flipping awesome. what he's doing.
It is good.
It's flipping great. Well, Thielen, I appreciate you. You boys got anything more for this 13-year vet, this Minnesota legend, Harvard on the Hill, Mankato State.
Hell yeah.
Season 2 episode, we don't know. I'm going to hit my dance, like, share, subscribe, retweet, repost, engage on the clips, like them, do something.
Actually listen to the whole podcast, not just clips.
Listen for 15 seconds, give a view. Is that all it takes?
15 seconds or more.
I think that's all it is, right? 15 seconds gets you a view.
Yeah, it's good, yep.
Yeah.
Or just sit it on the background. Just let it play.
You let it play, just play it on your phone, let it replay a couple times. You go to sleep, play it through to sleep. 8 hours of play.
That's it.
We'll take it.
Perfect.
Season 2, episode, we don't know.
Hey, oh. Hey.